The giant dome of the council chamber glowed with soft blue light. 200 alien representatives sat in curved rows. They came from all corners of the galaxy. Some had scales, others had fur. Some floated in tanks of liquid, while others needed special breathing masks. But today they all looked at the same images on the big screen. "These are humans," said Council Chair Zeltharian. His forearms gestured at the screen. His skin was pale blue, and his eyes were large and black. They live on a planet called Earth. The images showed humans building cities, fighting wars, launching rockets, and healing the sick. "They are dangerous," Zeltharian continued. "They fight among themselves. They damage their own planet, and now they are close to discovering faster than light travel. If they join our galactic community, they will bring chaos." Ambassador Kreval stood up. She was tall and slender with golden skin that seemed to glow. "I disagree, Honored Chair. I have secretly visited Earth. Yes, humans fight wars, but they also write music that can make you cry. They hurt their planet, but many work to heal it too. They are young as a species, but they learn quickly." Murmurs filled the chamber. Secret visits to undiscovered worlds were against council law. "You broke our most sacred rule," Zeltharian's voice boomed. "For this alone, your words should be ignored." "Perhaps," Kreval said calmly, "but that does not make them untrue." The debate raged for hours. Some council members wanted to welcome humans. Others wanted to destroy Earth completely. In the end, they voted for a middle path. "The council has decided," announced Zeltharian. "Earth will be sealed behind a quarantine barrier. No contact with humans will be allowed. Any who break this rule will face exile. The vote is final." Little did they know it was already too late. Far from Earth, the scout ship Horizon drifted through space. Inside, Alan Wright looked at the blinking red lights on the control panel. The ship was in bad shape. "How bad is the damage, Sam?" he asked. Sam Kelly ran his hand through his messy brown hair. "Not good, Commander. The engine is barely working. Life support is okay for now, but we need to land somewhere soon." Dr. Olivia Martinez looked up from her screen. "There's a planet, about 2 days away at our current speed. It shows signs of technology and life." Alan nodded. He was tired, but he couldn't show it. As commander, he needed to keep his crew's spirits up. 3 months ago, they had been the first humans to test the new faster-than-light drive. It had worked better than anyone expected, sending them far beyond where humans had ever gone before. But an unexpected asteroid field had damaged their ship badly. "Set course for the planet," Alan ordered, "and keep trying the communication system. Earth needs to know what we've found out here." Sam went back to fixing the engine while Olivia studied the data about the planet ahead. They had seen amazing things on their journey, evidence of many alien civilizations. But so far they had not met any aliens face to face. That was about to change. 2 days later, the Horizon entered the atmosphere of the planet. The ship shook violently. "I can't control it," Sam shouted over the alarms. "We're going to crash." Alan grabbed the manual controls. "Everyone, strap in." The ship broke through clouds and they saw a small settlement below. Buildings made of metal and stone spread across a valley. Alan steered away from them, aiming for an empty field. The Horizon hit the ground hard, sliding through dirt and rocks, before coming to a stop. Smoke filled the cabin. "Everyone okay?" Alan called out, unbuckling his safety harness. Sam and Olivia both answered yes. They were bruised but alive. "We should see where we are," Olivia suggested, looking out the window. "The air seems breathable according to my readings." Alan nodded. "Grab the emergency packs. We don't know what or who is out there." They opened the ship's hatch and stepped onto alien soil. The sky was purple, and 2 small moons were visible. Even in daylight, the air smelled like cinnamon. "Look," Sam pointed. A group was approaching from the direction of the settlement. As they got closer, the humans saw they were definitely not human. They walked on 2 legs, but their skin was various shades of green and blue. They had large eyes and small mouths. Some had ridges on their foreheads. Others had small antennae. At the front walked a female alien with dark green skin and wise eyes. She stopped a few meters away and spoke. To the human's surprise, a small device at her belt translated her words into English. I am Administrator Ziv Torah of Vega Colony. You are not from any world I recognize. Her eyes narrowed. What are you? Alan stepped forward. I am Commander Alan Wright. These are Dr. Olivia Martinez and Engineer Sam Kelly. We are humans from the planet Earth. The aliens looked at each other in alarm. One whispered something to Ziv Torah, who frowned deeply. Humans, she said the word carefully. The council sent word just yesterday. Your kind has been prohibited. No one may have contact with humans by order of the Galactic Council. Prohibited? Olivia asked. We don't even know what this council is. We're explorers, not invaders. Ziv Torah looked at their crashed ship, then at the thin crops growing in nearby fields. The colony buildings looked worn and in need of repair. The law says I should report you immediately, she said. But our communication system has been broken for weeks, and this colony needs help if it is to survive another season. She seemed to make a decision. Come with us. We will hide you for now. But if a council ship visits, you must stay out of sight. As they walked toward the settlement, Sam whispered to Alan, What do you think she meant by prohibited? Alan looked back at their damaged ship, then at the alien settlement ahead. I don't know, but it seems like we've stumbled into some complicated galactic politics. And without a working communication system, Earth has no idea, Olivia added. What none of them realized was that their arrival at Vega Colony was about to change the galaxy forever. The Council had voted to keep humanity away, but the damage, or perhaps the miracle, was already beginning. The sun rose over Vega Colony, casting purple light across the settlement. 2 weeks had passed since the humans crashed. They stayed in a small building near the edge of the colony. Administrator Ziv Torah had told everyone that they were visitors from a distant world, but not that they were humans. Alan stood at the window watching alien farmers work in the fields. The crops were turning brown and dying. They're in trouble, he said as Olivia joined him. I know, she replied. Their food supply is failing. I've been talking to their doctor. There's some kind of blight affecting all their plants. Sam entered the room, his hands dirty with machine oil. Their tech is failing too. Their environmental filters are barely working. This whole colony might have to be abandoned in a few months. Alan turned to his friends. We need to help them. They're risking everything by hiding us. I've been studying samples of their sick plants, Olivia said. I think I can help. On Earth, we've dealt with similar crop diseases. And I might be able to fix their environmental systems, Sam added. Their technology is advanced, but rigid. They follow these council protocols that don't allow for creative repairs. That afternoon, they met with Ziv Torah in her office. Maps and reports covered her desk, all showing bad news for the colony. We want to help, Alan told her. Olivia thinks she can treat your crops. Sam believes he can fix your systems. Ziv Torah looked worried. If you use human methods and the council discovers this, your colony is dying, Olivia said gently. We can help save it. After a long pause, Ziv Torah nodded. Very well, but be careful. The next day, Olivia began working with the colony's farming team. She examined the sick plants under a microscope. It's a bacterial infection, she explained to the alien farmers. On Earth, we've learned to fight these with beneficial fungi that attack the bacteria, but leave the plants alone. The aliens looked confused. The Council Agricultural Guide does not mention this approach, one said. Sometimes the best solutions come from new ideas, Olivia replied with a smile. Meanwhile, Sam worked on the environmental filters. He found that they were built with unnecessary complexity. Why do you have 5 backup systems that all work the same way? He asked the colony engineers. Council design protocols require redundancy, they explained. But when they all fail for the same reason, that's not helpful, Sam said. Let's try something different. Using parts from their crashed ship and materials from the colony, Sam created a simpler filter system. It wasn't pretty, but it worked better than the original. This breaks 17 council engineering protocols, an alien engineer said, looking both impressed and worried. Does it work? Sam asked. Yes, better than before. Then those protocols need updating, Sam replied. While Olivia and Sam tackled technical problems, Alan noticed social tensions in the colony. Two groups of aliens, those with ridged foreheads and those with antennae, barely spoke to each other. He learned they had been arguing for generations over how the colony should be run. One evening, Alan invited leaders from both groups to dinner. Instead of letting them sit on opposite sides as usual, he mixed them up and started asking questions about their families and lives before coming to the colony. By the end of the night, they were sharing stories and laughing together. "How did you do that?" Zivtora asked Alan afterward. "The council mediators have tried for years to resolve their differences using official protocols. Sometimes people just need to see each other as individuals, not as groups," Alan explained. "Human history is full of conflicts, but also reconciliations." Weeks passed. Olivia's treatment began to work. The crops started to recover. Sam's filters made the air cleaner than it had been in years. And the colony's social tensions eased as Alan's approach to conflict resolution spread. The colonists grew curious about these strange visitors and their unusual methods. In the evenings, humans and aliens would gather and share stories. The humans told tales of Earth, its oceans and mountains, its history and art. The aliens shared stories of the many worlds of the Galactic Council. "Why would the Council prohibit contact with humans?" a young alien asked one night. "Your ideas are helping us." "Some fear what they don't understand," Zivtora answered carefully. "And humans are very different from Council species." A older alien with faded blue skin spoke up. "The Council has ruled for 10,000 years using the same methods, the same rules. Humans seem to create new methods every day." The colony thrived as the days went by. Word spread to nearby settlements about Vega Colony's sudden prosperity. People came to trade and to see the changes for themselves. The humans stayed out of sight during these visits, but their influence was everywhere, in the healthy fields, the working systems, and the cooperative community. Then one morning, a sleek silver ship appeared in the sky. Zivtora rushed to the humans building. "A council inspection vessel has arrived. You must hide quickly." The humans gathered essential supplies and followed her to a network of caves beneath the colony. These caves had been used for storage but were now mostly empty. "Stay here," Zivtora instructed. "I will try to make the inspector leave quickly." From their hiding place, the humans could hear the colony preparing to receive the important visitor. Hours later, a young alien named Milo snuck down to update them. "The inspector is Enforcer Drell Varax," Milo whispered. "He is asking many questions about how our colony improved so quickly." "Is Zivtora okay?" Alan asked. "She is clever. She says our success comes from better following council protocols." Milo's eyes shined with excitement. "But many of us know the truth. Your human ways have saved our home." That night, while the humans remained hidden, Milo and several other young aliens gathered in the caves. "We want to learn more about humans," one said. "About Earth. The Council is wrong to prohibit you," another added. "We should be learning from each other." Olivia smiled at their enthusiasm. "Be careful, we don't want to cause trouble for your colony." "There are trader ships leaving tomorrow," Milo said. "Some of us have decided to go with them. We will tell others about human ideas, not directly but by showing them new ways to solve problems." Alan looked concerned. "That could be dangerous for you." Milo stood tall. "You risked helping us when our colony was dying. Now we can help spread what we've learned." The humans couldn't talk them out of it. In the morning, 5 young aliens left on different ships bound for different worlds. The seeds of human influence had begun to spread through council space. Meanwhile, in the colony above, Enforcer Drell Varax continued his inspection, growing more suspicious by the hour about the strange improvements he was seeing everywhere he looked. 3 days had passed since the council inspection ship arrived. The humans remained hidden in the caves beneath Vega Colony. Enforcer Drell Varax was still there, asking more questions every day. "He knows something is different here," Zivtora told the humans during a secret visit to their hiding place. "He has taken samples of our crops and is examining our environmental systems." "Has he found any evidence of us?" Alan asked. Not yet. But he is very thorough. Sam had been working on repairing their ship's communication system using parts smuggled from the colony. I'm making progress, he said. We might be able to contact Earth soon. That was both good and worrying news. If they could warn Earth about the Council's prohibition, that might prevent future problems. But what would Earth do with such information? On the 6th day of hiding, Milo came to the caves with food and news. I have a friend who works in communications, he whispered. He intercepted a message from the Council to all colonies. The young ones who left here have been busy. On 3 different worlds they have introduced human ideas. One showed farmers how to treat crop diseases like Dr. Martinez taught us. Another rebuilt environmental systems like Sam did. A third resolved a long-standing dispute using Alan's methods. Are they safe? Olivia asked, concerned. They are careful not to mention humans. They say these are just new interpretations of Council protocols. Milo's eyes sparkled with excitement. But people are noticing how well these new methods work. Meanwhile, at the Galactic Council headquarters, Ambassador Kreval received secret reports about these unusual developments. She began collecting evidence of the positive changes happening in the colonies that had been influenced by human ideas. The prohibition is a mistake, she told her trusted aide. Humans could help our civilization grow in new ways. We have been stagnant for too long, following the same protocols for thousands of years. Back on Vega Colony, Enforcer Drell Varix grew more suspicious. He had found tools and materials that didn't match Council standards. The crop treatment methods were unlike anything in official records. Someone has been introducing non-approved technologies and methods to this colony, he accused Zivtora in her office. That is a serious violation of Council law. We have simply found better ways to implement Council protocols, she replied calmly. I don't believe you. Drell Varax's red eyes narrowed. I will extend my inspection. My team will search every building, every cave, every storage area. After he left, Zivtora rushed to warn the humans. You must move deeper into the caves. They will search everywhere. As they gathered their few belongings, Sam made a discovery. The communication system is working. I'm receiving signals from Earth. They huddled around the small screen. The message was unclear, breaking up frequently, but they could make out enough to understand. Earth had detected the Council's quarantine barrier around their solar system. Not understanding what it was, Earth's leaders had interpreted it as a hostile act. They were preparing ships to break through and defend their planet. This is bad, Alan said. If Earth launches an attack, the Council will respond with force. We need to send a message explaining the situation, Olivia urged. Sam worked frantically to boost their signal. I can try, but it might alert the Council to our presence. Here, we have to risk it, Alan decided. Earth needs to know they're not under attack, just prohibited contact. As Sam prepared the message, the colony above them went into high alert. Enforcer Drell Varax had begun his systematic search. The humans sent their message, explaining about the Council, the prohibition, and the potential for peaceful contact if handled carefully. They had no way of knowing if it got through. Just as they finished, they heard footsteps approaching their hiding place. Enforcers in Council security uniforms appeared at the cave entrance, weapons drawn. By order of the Galactic Council, you are under arrest, Drell Varax announced, stepping forward. Humans are prohibited in Council space, and the colonists who hid you will face exile, another enforcer added. Before the humans could respond, shapes moved in the darkness behind them. Dozens of colonists had entered through other passages. They stood silently, forming a wall between the humans and the enforcers. You will have to arrest us all, said Zivtora, joining her people. This is a Council matter, Drell Varax said firmly. Stand aside. No, replied an elder with faded blue skin. These humans saved our colony when Council protocols failed us. We stand with them. More colonists arrived until over 100 stood in peaceful defiance. They carried no weapons, made no threats. They simply stood together. Drell Varax had never seen anything like it. Council authority was absolute. No one ever simply refused. This is illegal assembly, he sputtered. I will call for reinforcements. Do what you must, Zivtora said calmly. We will remain. The standoff continued for hours. The enforcers couldn't arrest everyone. Using weapons against unarmed colonists would violate council law. Drelvarex didn't know how to handle this type of resistance. While the colonists held their ground, something similar was happening across council space. On dozens of worlds, the ideas spread by Milo's friends had taken root. Colonies were questioning rigid protocols. They were finding new solutions to old problems. They were standing together across old divisions, and they were talking to each other. Communication channels usually used only for official council business now carried messages between colonies. They shared stories of their successes and the strange new methods that made them possible. Most didn't know these ideas came from humans. They simply knew that change was happening, and it was working. On the third day of the standoff, an unexpected ship arrived at Vega Colony. It was smaller than the council vessel, clearly built for speed rather than power. It landed near the cave entrance. A tall, slender alien with golden skin stepped out. Ambassador Kree-Val had come herself. Enforcer Drelvarex, she called. I bring new instructions from the council. Drelvarex emerged from the cave, confusion on his face. Ambassador, what are you doing here? The situation has changed. The council is reconsidering certain matters. She looked past him to where the humans stood among the colonists. I need to speak with these humans. Inside Zivtora's office, Ambassador Kree-Val explained the rapidly changing situation. Several council members have noticed the unusual improvements in colonies across our space. Some suspect human influence, but others simply see positive results. She looked at Alan, Olivia, and Sam. Meanwhile, we have detected unusual activity in Earth's solar system. Your people appear to be attempting to break through our barrier. We sent a message, Alan said. We tried to explain that the barrier isn't an attack. Kree-Val nodded. That explains the sudden change in their approach. They have stopped preparing weapons and appear to be readying diplomatic vessels instead. The council prohibition has failed, Zivtora said. Human ideas are already spreading. Yes, Kree-Val agreed. And I have gathered evidence of their positive impact. But many council members still fear change. They have ruled the same way for thousands of years. She turned to the humans. I need your help. Come with me to the council homeworld. Show them what humanity truly offers. It may be our only chance to prevent conflict between your world and ours. That night, as they prepared to leave with Ambassador Kree-Val, the humans said goodbye to the colonists who had protected them. We will not forget what you've done, Alan told Zivtora. Nor will we forget what you taught us, she replied. No matter what the council decides, those lessons will remain. As their ship lifted off, they could see the colony below, thriving. Where it had once been failing, united where it had once been divided. Whatever happened next, the change had already begun. The journey to the council homeworld took 4 days. Ambassador Kree-Val's ship was fast but small, with barely enough room for the humans to move around. They spent the time learning about the Galactic Council from Kree-Val. The council was formed 12,000 years ago, she explained. It began with 5 species who had achieved faster-than-light travel. Now it includes representatives from over 200 worlds. And they all follow these rigid protocols? Sam asked. Yes. The founding species created a system of rules for everything: engineering, medicine, agriculture, governance. These protocols are rarely changed. That explains why Vega Colony was failing, Olivia said. When new problems arise, you need new solutions. Kree-Val nodded. That is what makes humans different. You adapt quickly. Some council members see this as dangerous chaos. Others, like me, see it as necessary evolution. As they approached the council homeworld, they saw hundreds of ships in orbit. Some were massive, clearly built for war. The council is gathering its forces, Kree-Val said grimly. They fear Earth may attack. We need to stop this before it starts, Alan said. The planet below was beautiful. Blue oceans, green and purple continents, white clouds. The city where the council met was vast, with towers that reached toward the sky. Kreval's ship landed on a platform near the council chamber. "I have arranged an emergency session," she told them, "but I must warn you, many will not want to hear what you have to say." As they walked toward the chamber, screens along the walkway showed news from across council space. The humans were shocked to see reports about mysterious improvements at colonies, unprecedented cooperation between different species, and protocol violations that were producing positive results. "Your influence has spread further than I realized," Kreval said. "The ideas you shared at Vega Colony have traveled to dozens of worlds." Inside the council chamber, hundreds of alien representatives from across the galaxy sat in curved rows. Many looked angry. Others seemed curious. All stared at the humans as they entered. Council Chair Zeltharian stood at the center of the chamber. His 4 arms were raised for silence. "This emergency session will come to order," he announced. "Ambassador Kreval has brought humans into our sacred chamber, a direct violation of our prohibition. She will explain her actions before we decide her punishment." Kreval stepped forward. "Honored council members, I bring these humans before you because our prohibition has failed. Their ideas are already spreading through our territories." Murmurs filled the chamber. Zeltharian's eyes narrowed. "Explain." "These 3 humans crashed on Vega Colony. Instead of bringing harm, they saved the colony from collapse. They treated dying crops, fixed failing systems, and helped resolve conflicts. The colony now thrives. One success does not justify breaking our laws," Zeltharian replied. "It is not just one colony." Kreval activated a display showing maps of council space. Dozens of points lit up across the map. All these colonies have adopted human approaches. Most don't even know the ideas came from humans. They simply know that these new methods work better than our ancient protocols. An old council member with crystalline skin spoke up. "This is troubling. Our protocols have maintained peace and order for millennia, and have also prevented growth and adaptation," Kreval countered. "Many frontier colonies were failing before these new ideas spread." "Let the humans speak," called a younger council member from the upper rows. Others joined in this call, until Zeltharian reluctantly agreed. Alan stepped forward. "I am Commander Alan Wright of Earth. My friends and I came to your space as explorers, not invaders. We have seen the wonders of your civilization. We have also seen its flaws." "How dare you criticize?" Zeltharian began, but other council members called for Alan to continue. "On Earth we have a saying, the only constant is change. Your protocols worked well for thousands of years, but the galaxy is not static. New problems arise. Old solutions fail. When that happens, you must adapt or perish." Olivia spoke next. "Your medical protocols failed to treat the crop disease on Vega Colony. Not because they were wrong, but because the disease had evolved. That's how life works. It changes, adapts, finds new paths. Your science must do the same." Sam added, "Your engineering protocols value complexity and redundancy. Sometimes that's good, but sometimes simplicity works better. The key is knowing when to follow the rules and when to break them." The chamber erupted in debate. Some representatives shouted that the humans should be imprisoned. Others argued that they should be heard. The divide seemed to fall along age lines. Older council members feared change while younger ones embraced it. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. A communications officer rushed to Zeltharian. After a brief exchange, the council chair's face showed shock. "A fleet of ships has broken through the quarantine barrier around Earth," he announced. "They will reach council space within hours." Fear spread through the chamber. Many had voted for the prohibition because they believed humans were warlike. Now it seemed their fears were justified. How many weapons do these ships carry? A council member asked. Before Zeltharian could answer, Alan stepped forward again. "Let me contact them. They may be responding to our message about the prohibition." After a tense debate, the council agreed. Alan was allowed to use the chamber's communication system to send a message to the approaching Earth fleet. Hours later, the Earth ships arrived at the edge of the Council homeworld system. Their commander, Admiral Grace Harper, responded to Alan's message. "We received your warning about the Council prohibition." Her voice came through the chamber speakers. "We come in peace, but we will not accept barriers around our world without explanation." "They claim peace while invading our space," Zeltharian said darkly. "This proves humans cannot be trusted." The debate raged on until Ambassador Kree raised her hand for attention. "There is something else you should know, honored council members." She looked directly at Zeltharian. "The truth about why humans were prohibited." Zeltharian's eyes widened. "That is classified information." "No, more secrets," Kree insisted. "The council must know the truth before deciding humanity's fate." After a tense silence, Zeltharian spoke. "Very well, the founding species, my own included, prohibited humanity not because we feared their violence, but because we feared their innovation." Shocked murmurs filled the chamber. Zeltharian continued. "For 12,000 years the founding species have ruled the council. Our protocols ensure our continued dominance. Humans advance too quickly. They would disrupt the balance of power we have maintained for millennia. So the prohibition was about control, not safety," a younger council member said. "It was about stability," Zeltharian insisted. "Rapid change leads to chaos." "Or to growth," countered Kree. As the debate continued, Dr. Olivia Martinez received an urgent message. A prominent council member's child was critically ill with a disease no council protocol could treat. "I might be able to help," she offered. "On Earth, we've developed treatments for similar conditions." The council member, desperate to save their child, agreed despite Zeltharian's objections. Olivia was taken to the medical facility where the child lay pale and weak. Studying the child's symptoms and the available medicines, Olivia created a treatment that combined council protocols with human medical approaches. It was a risk, but within hours the child's condition began to improve. News of this spread quickly through the council chamber. When Olivia returned, the mood had shifted. "The humans saved my child when our protocols failed," the grateful council member announced. "Perhaps we have been too quick to judge." More representatives began sharing stories of improvements in their home colonies due to the new ideas spreading through council space. The rigid unity that Zeltharian had always counted on was crumbling. A vote was called. The council would decide whether to maintain the prohibition against humanity or to open diplomatic relations with Earth. As the voting began, Admiral Harper's fleet remained in position at the edge of the system. Earth was ready for either peace or conflict. The fate of two civilizations hung in the balance. The council chamber was silent as the votes were tallied. Alan, Olivia, and Sam stood together, watching the numbers change on the large display screen. Ambassador Kree waited nearby, her golden skin dimmed with worry. When the final vote appeared, a wave of murmurs swept through the chamber. It was close, but the decision was clear. The prohibition against humanity would remain in place. "The council has spoken," Zeltharian announced, satisfaction clear in his voice. "Earth will remain isolated behind the quarantine barrier. These humans will be returned to their planet with a warning. Any further human presence in council space will be considered an act of war." Alan stepped forward. "And the Earth fleet that's already here? They will be escorted back to your solar system," Zeltharian replied. "This is the council's final word." But even as he spoke, a council aide rushed to his side, whispering urgently. Zeltharian's expression changed from satisfaction to shock. "What is the meaning of this?" he demanded, activating a different display screen. The screen showed reports from across council space. On dozens of worlds, local governments were announcing that they would welcome human contact, regardless of the council's prohibition. Trade agreements were already being prepared. Cultural exchanges were being planned. "This is rebellion," Zeltharian declared. "No," Kree said calmly. "This is evolution. The council has ruled through control for too long. The outer worlds, are exercising their right to self-determination. Our fleets will enforce the prohibition, Zeltharian insisted. Another council aide approached, looking even more worried. Sir, many fleet commanders are refusing orders to take action against colonies that accept human contact. The chamber erupted in confusion. Nothing like this had ever happened in the council's long history. Their authority had never been questioned, let alone defied. In the midst of the chaos, Admiral Harper's voice came through the communication system. This is Admiral Grace Harper of Earth. We have been monitoring your council proceedings. We come with a proposal, not threats. Against Zeltharian's objections, the Admiral was allowed to address the council directly. Her image appeared on the main screen, a human woman with short gray hair and a steady gaze. Members of the Galactic Council, she began. Earth did not know of your existence until recently. We broke through your barrier not to attack but to understand. We come offering friendship in exchange of knowledge. The Admiral's fleet included not warships but research vessels, diplomatic craft and trading ships. They carried scientists, artists, and teachers rather than soldiers. We respect your vote today, Admiral Harper continued. But we also see that many of your worlds wish to know us. We propose a middle path. Let those who wish to have contact with Earth do so. Those who prefer isolation can maintain it. This suggestion caused more debate among the council members. Such a flexible approach went against their tradition of universal rules that applied to all worlds equally. While the council argued, another message arrived from Vega Colony. Zivtora reported that representatives from 30 frontier worlds had gathered there. They were forming a new alliance called the Collaborative of Worlds. This group would operate independently of council control, with its own diplomatic relationships, including with Earth. You see, Zeltharian said bitterly, humans bring disorder wherever they go. They bring change, corrected a younger council member. There is a difference. As the debate continued, Sam noticed something on one of the data screens. Look at this, he said to Alan and Olivia. The council's enforcement systems are already compromised. The screen showed that hundreds of worlds were openly trading with humans, sharing technologies and adopting Earth methods. The council's prohibition existed only on paper now. Kreval addressed the chamber again. Honored colleagues, we face a choice. We can fight a losing battle to maintain the old ways, or we can adapt to this new reality. The humans are here. Their ideas are spreading. We can treat this as a crisis or as an opportunity. The chamber divided into factions. A group of younger representatives, together with those from frontier worlds, stood with Kreval. Most of the older members and those from the founding species remained with Zeltharian. I call for a new vote, announced a council member who had been silent until now. Not on the prohibition, but on the formation of a new council structure, one that allows for more regional self-determination. The vote was held immediately. This time the results favored change. The council would be reformed. Worlds could choose their level of contact with Earth and with each other. The rigid protocols would become guidelines rather than laws. Zeltharian and his supporters walked out of the chamber in protest. You will regret this day, he warned. Chaos will follow. But he was wrong. In the 5 years that followed, the galaxy entered a period of growth and innovation unlike any in its history. The Collaborative of Worlds grew to include over half the former council systems. Earth joined as a full member. Ambassador Kreval and Commander Alan Wright served as the first co-chairs. Olivia's work integrating human and alien medical science led to treatments for diseases once thought incurable. Sam's engineering approaches were adopted across the galaxy, leading to more efficient and adaptable technologies. Not all worlds embraced change. Some maintained their isolation, following the old protocols. The Reformed Council respected their choice while allowing others to follow different paths. Earthships now traveled freely through much of the galaxy. Alien students studied at Earth universities. Human art, music, and literature found audiences on distant worlds. And alien cultures enriched human understanding in return. Admiral Harper's fleet remained in service, but as explorers and diplomats rather than warriors. They made first contact with new species at the galaxy's edge, expanding the community of worlds. The humans who had crashed on Vega Colony became celebrated figures. Alan, Olivia, and Sam were invited to speak at gatherings across known space. They told the story of how a simple crash landing had changed the course of galactic history. Sivtora turned Vega Colony into a center for cultural exchange, where humans and aliens worked together to solve problems old and new. The young alien, Milo, who had first spread human ideas to other worlds, traveled with his friends, teaching the value of combining different approaches. On a quiet evening 5 years after the Council's reformation, a lone figure sat on a balcony overlooking a busy spaceport. Former Council Chair Zeltharian had chosen exile rather than accept the new order. He watched ships from dozens of worlds, including Earth, coming and going in peaceful commerce. He had fought against change his entire life. He had believed that the old ways were best, that stability mattered more than growth. But as he looked at the thriving galactic community before him, he found himself wondering if he had been wrong. A news report played on a nearby screen, showing the latest achievements of the collaborative of worlds. New colonies were thriving. Old conflicts were being resolved. Knowledge was spreading faster than ever before. "We prohibited humanity," Zeltharian whispered to himself, but the damage was already done. He smiled faintly, recognizing at last that what he had called damage had actually been healing. The galaxy had needed humanity's spark of innovation, its adaptability, its willingness to try new approaches. The Council had prohibited humanity, but in doing so, they had ensured that human ideas would spread like wildfire through a forest that had been dry for far too long, and from those flames a new and better galaxy had emerged.